All right, believe it or not, we're finally in the fifth round. We're going to try to do as much of this as we can. We got a couple picks ready, so Diz, when you're ready, go ahead and whisper me your pick. Gabe Weaver will be the first one selected here by the Diamondbacks. He is from Williamsville, New York. He played at Lemoyne in Syracuse. He had 14 saves this year, 16 the prior year. He's a mid-90s fastball. Can believe that he can ramp that up a bit more. So good fastball changeup combination is believed that he can offer if he can continue to develop. The 20-year-old is believed to have at least average movement, probably below average control. Always a risk when you try to throw like he does. So if he does try to ramp it up, that will be the real question mark for Gabe Weaver.
Yeah, great two-pitch closer. The fastball changeup mix is a natural. Control, a little bit of a worry. I think that's going to grow out as the changeup matures. Got to keep the ball in the park and got to figure out a way to keep it down. Being in Arizona will help. But this is a nice gamble pick on a team that kind of needs a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I don't think it's a bad spot because you got to hope that with some of that risk, if he does develop, there'll be some positive reward for it, even if it's just a respectable, average, league average type of player. That's not a negative.
No.
All right. Braves are in with their pick, and they will go after Venezuelan real-life player Francisco Alvarez. Alvarez, a definite power presence. It'll be the question mark of how he can hit for average, if at all. Speed, not a factor in the game for a 5'10", 230-pound backstop, but the biggest knock on why he's not a higher drafted player for the power potential he possesses is his question mark on hitting for power. And defensively, I wouldn't say he's considered a top-notch catcher in the defensive category.
No, not at all. He's here for his bat, plain and simple. As a real-life player, it's really easy to see that defense is not what he's here for. It's hitting, and it's the 3 true outcomes type. So this is a nice little gamble pick too, especially if the power matures to the level that it appears that he could, especially with that I mix. So this is a nice risk. And I don't think anybody's expecting him to start for the Braves, but he'd be a nice backup ultimately.
Yeah. Yeah. With Mac Powers behind there, absolutely. This is a backup to give him some necessary time off so that Mac can maximize as best he can. All right, very good. We do have the pick in from Sacramento. They will go after community credit player Dan Bruschi. This is Den Brews, community credit player, a first baseman, average offensive talent, not the a real power hitter type, which might be the negative on why he's a fifth-round selection here. But defensively speaking, for a first baseman, he'll be average to even slightly above average. So, again, not a bad gamble at this point if he will develop any further than this. Again, there's a lot of first basemen currently in the system at Sacramento. Ryan Lane, of course, is holding down first base predominantly right now. They're still looking for power out of him. So if he can't continue to develop that, why not give a guy like Dan Bruschi an opportunity?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it, again, as a CCP, is a little bit of a golden lottery ticket. But even without that, you're looking at a average major league first baseman.
Still at it.
I think this plays good left-handed contact.
No.
Worth the gamble there for Sacramento.
Sorry, my family is like, am I still alive? Yes, I am. Ash had fun doing a Greek tragedy in Antigone yesterday, playing in a variety of roles, getting a lot of speaking parts, and already geared up to audition for Mean Girls, which is the next play coming up for the school.
Ooh,
so
nice.
Audition is
all
tomorrow.
The kids have grown up since you've started this draft show. They've all grown up.
Yeah, because when I think that clip is still out there when we still had just the straight blue backdrop,
I'm a kitty cat,
and you had
dance.
Ash was nowhere near as tall as I am now. They were all smaller, and they would all do like the big attack hug and stuff there. So, Pop, thank you very much for the biddies. You gifted a couple subs over there, so thank you for that. Okay. Give baby bird a kiss for me.
I will. He needs a kiss at Scared
All right. Thank you again, Pop. When's the Roblox Baseball League? That's a great question. My son Dominic should run that one. All right. Rockies are up. They will go with Wheat Ridge, Colorado pitcher Phil Blinson. 22-year-old right-hander, played for Davidson in North Carolina this past year. Low mid-90s with a cut fastball.
Great horny toads!
And as expected, New York Yankee general manager just threw horny toads all around the chat. Brendan, thank you very much.
I think he got all the breed of.
I think he did. I think all of Bredov's alts have been covered here. He also got Franchise Time Machine. He also got Jake exclusive. Jake is in St. Louis. And FTM, I got to write that down because one of these days Franchise will create a player. I think. I hope. So Blinson, as we were talking about, a low mid-90s cut fastball, also throws a split finger fastball, and has been working on developing a changeup. Average, probably average to slightly below average control, but can keep the ball in the park. At least it looks like he can do that. And that's always a plus when you play at a park like Colorado. So Blinson looks like he could be a decent selection here in a fifth-round choice.
I think so too. The changeup to me determines whether or not he has a chance to be a starter. But this is a very nice profile. If not, straight over the top, keeps the ball down. Everything else looks out to be average at least. So, and tends to be pretty intelligent. So I like this as another piece in that formidable Rockies farm system.
Got it. Got it. Diz, you know what I would best select? Because I had not announced that, and I should be specific. So, again, I will announce this later. In regards to the start of round 6, round 6 can start at any time tonight after the show is done, but the draft will officially start on the clock at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern, and picks 6 through 10 will have an hour and a half to submit their picks. So we're going to tell people, be very diligent on filling lists. So what I might suggest in your instance, try to get maybe 50 picks on the list if you're capable, so that you've got at least 2 rounds that will be covered. Again, everybody will have an hour and a half to pick. Once we get to the round 10 through 25, it's going to be 30 minutes that we'll have, with the goal trying to hopefully be by Thursday we'll get back to baseball action. So 7 in the morning is when the timer will begin. It'll go until 11 at night, so there's 8 hours that the clock is off. If picks get done, they get done. All I'm going to say is I want everyone to remain respectful. People are using their time, so we'll get it done when we get it done. And again, seeing as how long this particular thing took, I'm having a blast. I hope Tim is still having a blast. It took a lot. I'm sure it's taking a lot out of us, but we are having fun. I want to jump right into this next pick, because this one is like a how is he still here? Switch hitting second baseman Tim Davis. This was a 300-plus hitter in the 1.0 universe. The Gonzaga senior. He's an average to above average second baseman. He won't blow your mind with regards to his speed, but this is a guy who knows how to hit. He knows how to professionally hit, get on base. He won't blow your mind with your power, but he is absolutely impressive with his capabilities. 303 career average in over 760 games with 38 homers, almost 300 RBI, and almost 700 hits scattered out over 8 seasons. Now, Tim Davis probably in his past life should have been given a lot more opportunity than he was given, because I think a guy who gets 8 seasons is hitting over 300. He should get much more opportunity than that. It was just that lack of power. But we've seen those guys be very respectful in this universe that can hit over that. Tim Davis as a 5th-round pick to Portland. Attica Online, to me, Tim Davis might not hit a lot of home runs, but I think Attica just hit home run with what this guy could possibly bring.
Yeah, this is a very nice pick. And this is one of these things where, and we've had this conversation on stream before, the overall potential isn't everything it's made up to be. And this is a very good example of that. 48 as a potential does not do this profile justice. And I think we'll see Davis for a while to come. A really nice player, a reserve bat, could potentially end up being a starter. Again, it's a very nice pick by Portland.
There's actually a couple of different blueberry beers that I've drank before there, Brendan. But that's the one, Miss V's, is the one I've had the most with the dancing blueberries in it. But that one I haven't had this year. I've actually had Wyman's Blueberry this season. Shipyard Blueberry Ale with Wyman's blueberries in it is what I've had. It's a local beer from this area. So Pop Stars, I'm looking for confirmation if she wants me to defer to the list or because she's here. Use the list, she says. Let me go back to what she's got. Very specific on this request, so let me make sure I can cover it. Let me see if this guy is available, and that will confirm, because I don't think we've called this name. We have not. All right. Based on what you sent me for instructions earlier, Baltimore is going to select a just turned 23-year-old left-hander, a relief pitcher, Eric McCray. He's a senior at Southern Illinois. Doesn't have high ratings in regards to his pitches. He's a high 80s pitcher, can throw low 90s, ground ball profile. It is the expectation that he can really control the pitch very well, that he's got great control and command of the strike zone while also having the ability to keep that ball down and in the zone so that it will not give up a lot of home runs at Camden Yards. Again, a lefty with this profile at Camden Yards with the stretched out outfield in left field.
Yeah.
It's not a bad project pick. Also doesn't look too bad that apparently he's a very inexpensive signing for, as he only wants like in the $300,000 range here at this level.
Yeah, great home run suppression, paints the corners, ground balls. The stuff is the big worrying thing, but I had him in the 90s, actually.
So you definitely think this is a good value here.
I do, because especially with a reliever, you can get away with one massive miss, control or stuff, and if everything else plays up like this does, it'll be okay. And I think it's going to be okay. He's a really nice player.
All right. Well, we will now transition over to the Marlins. Their pick is in. This name was seen earlier, but was somehow the WTF from Pirate doing a new version of a Pirate. So Jack Johnson, the 20-year-old from Blaine, Minnesota, now being selected here by the Marlins. The catcher was from the 1.0 universe, a super defensive-minded catcher, so he will be a huge plus from the defensive side. Not an imposing presence behind the plate. 5'10", 175 pounds. He has some good line drive capability, some good ability to avoid the strikeout. I think he's a good selection here. Here's the interesting thing. He played over 14 seasons in the 1.0 universe. 1.0 had 20 total seasons before we ended it. 1,119 games played, a 259 hitter, just 36 homers, 807 hits. So he mostly served in a backup capacity. He played a lot of games still, but he didn't really have a lot of offensive opportunity. So I think that's why he profiled as he did here. But I have to agree with what Jamie says. I think this is a nice fifth-round pick if all you're thinking about is a defensive-minded, give my main starter a day off type of guy.
Well, absolutely. Who could come up in a position, could come up in a tight spot and hit you a double. Gap to gap power, sprays the ball in the air. No, I really like this player for this at this point. Very good pick.
I agree. Cleveland's pick is in, so it will now be Montreal's turn. Let me... It would help if I know how to hit a check mark. Okay, Guardian selection is in. Let's take a peek at 18-year-old Newark, New Jersey native Jamari Pegues. He is an outfielder, first baseman kind of combination. Interesting that he is a speedy outfielder, first baseman who is believed to have plus potential in the power department. That's a weird combination. Speed from a corner outfielder, first baseman. Again, I think he's an interesting potential find here. Planning to go play for Pennsylvania if he does not sign here. I find this is kind of an interesting project type of player. I'm not sure if I can see him getting a lot of at-bats in the majors, but man, it's the speed that's enticing. And like you said, this is a guy that you got multiple people on base. You might give him a chance to show what he can do if he has any potential to profile what he looks like.
Yeah, with that gap power and the speed, I immediately think triples Merchant. Um, Surprised that the speed doesn't play up as well in the outfield in terms of range, but okay. And yeah, it's kind of hard to see what is this guy. Um, it just looks like if he hits it, he's going to hit it a long way. And I think that's where the value is. He's not going to clog up the bases, although his base running instincts need a little bit of improvement. Uh, it's this is the kind of guy who ends up having a decent major league career, and everybody's like, well, why did he get picked into the fifth? And if you go back and look at what his profile, his scouting report was at this point, you can say, oh,
That's
okay,
why.
now I get it.
That's
Yeah.
well, development lab for the win. We'll see.
Yeah. And Cleveland has a knack of being able to do things with guys like this. So I hope their luck holds with him.
All right, Expo's pick is in. Royals are on auto. So, Ken, if you want to put your selection in a row, if you're still out there, you are not on the board anymore as the Scooter. Roman Furchi will be drafted here. The Canadian from Medicine Hat, Alberta, has been selected. He was a freshman at Utah Valley this past season. He is another knuckleballer that can throw the knuckle curve, the split finger, and a fastball, we think. Again, knuckleballers aren't there for their fastball potential. A good swing and miss action. Always potential in any form of community-created player. It is Ro Furch, or the Furchinator, who officially has been signed here by the Montreal Expos.
I like this profile, just about the right level for his age group. Again, the knuckler, having the two different knuckle pitches will be awesome. Good worker. This is a nice pick for Montreal, and being a Canadian, the fans will turn out for him. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a good fit for being a Canadian. The question mark is we have not enough data with the brand new Labatt Park to know how beneficial a knuckleballer will do playing in that park. That is the unknown. We just don't have enough data to tell you if that's a good idea or a bad idea yet.
Yeah. I think if one of his speed, if either the fastball or splitter comes forward a little bit, that'll kind of take the pressure off of those, but those will still be his primary out pitches.
Got it. Yeah. All right, we're going to do the Kansas City Royals selection here in a moment. Tigers are up. Then it will be the Yankees and the Rays. D-Block is like, finally. It's like 8 a.m. The rooster's crowed already. What the heck?
His stream's about to start.
Yes, his stream is about to start. He'll be like, oh, freaking commissioner, I don't feel like streaming right now. Goodness. Royals will select 1.0 pitcher Sam Murphy. He is a 21-year-old right-hander from Hendrix University in Arkansas. 8-game winner this year, just over 100 innings of work. He throws upper 90s, mostly focuses on the changeup being his predominant out pitch. He also throws a curveball, slider, and the sinker. Really good movement. A lot of people think he can really be stingy with the home runs that he'll let up. That can be very frustrating for the power hitters in the midst of a situation. I could see a Sam Murphy being brought in when a game is tight. You got the power hitters coming up, and he just knows how to keep the ball in the park. Kind of a little bit of a David Leal feel with that, because he doesn't throw hard. In his time in 1.0, he had over 11 seasons and 1,500 innings pitched. He had a high 4 ERA, only 73 wins and 90 losses, but he did have almost 1,100 strikeouts, which, again, considering how many innings that he pitched, helps you understand. There wasn't as much strikeouts in the 1.0 era as there is in the 2.0 era, because the 2.0 era has adapted a little bit more towards how the modern game is played now.
Yeah. I think the key for him is in several pitchers in this round, getting that velocity potential up. getting that full potential for that. The stuff is never going to be the dominant piece for him, as some of that curveball and changeup. But yeah, this is a nice. OSA liked him more than I did, but I liked him like right around in this range. So I think this is a good value pick for the Royals.
All righty, on to our next pick, and another community created player will come off the board. Now we'll have to see how many are left here. Detroit will select the sixth Beatle, Lennon Starr from Bensalem Township, Pennsylvania. This is Joe Quills, community created player. Joe's been a bit of a regular here. Don't know. I think I saw him earlier today. I don't know if he's here now. But we had a quote come from Detroit. Hasn't been posted on Twitter yet, or X, or whatever the heck they're calling themselves today. The quote was from the GM. They stated, with the shift going to come into play, we're going to try and put second baseman everywhere. Lennon Starr will fit that category well. Good, has upside on the gap and power presence. Probably will hit and have an average eye at best here right now. Planning to go to New Jersey. What is that? Is that New Jersey Technical? NJIT? Not overly familiar with that particular one, but it is Joe Quills, community creative player, drafted here by the Tigers. They might get stolen in Detroit.
That is the New Jersey Institute of Technology
Nice. Very cool.
in
All right.
Newark.
Yankees are up. They have their pick in. The Rays can go ahead and submit their pick.
And we've got four CCPs left.
4 CCPs. Got it. We'll see if they all make it through the fifth, or signed here in the fifth round. All right, on to the Yankees. They will go with a very Italian name, Salvatore Ford from Montebello, New York, playing his ball at Niagara University in Lewiston. Threw 119 innings this year and struck out 150 batters. 6'2", 230-pound. Just a imposing presence despite not being the tallest guy. Just throws absolutely hard. Very solid with a fastball slider combination. Curveball changeup continue to develop. This could be a guy that's going to be in the middle or back end of a rotation and could be a real stingy player to face off against. Salvatore Ford, right-hander, selected here by the Yanks. What's your thoughts on him, Tim?
Even if it's just the main three pitches that ultimately mature and the changeup just kind of goes away, this is a really nice pitching profile. Worry about him keeping the ball in the park, but he will miss bats. 101 could even be higher in velocity. Whether this is a starter or gets a spot as a shutdown reliever of some type, I'm very curious as to what this guy becomes. I want to see how the farm system develops him. He could be special.
All right. Well, Salvatore Ford will get his opportunities under the watchful care of Brendan McGuirk. We'll see what they do there. On to Tampa. Tampa's last selection is the 18-year-old high schooler Mike Clark from Kirkland, Illinois. He advertises as a center fielder. I say no, not with a arm that would make Johnny Damon say, man, I got some mad skill muscles here. 442 hitter, so he definitely can bring some offense to the plate. It will be on the other side of the ball that will be the big deficiency that the Rays will have to figure out how they'll work through. Still, not a bad guy to try to take a gamble on with what is believed to be a guy. You give him a solid enough opportunity, maybe he can surprise you with some 300 seasons.
Oh yeah, the bat first, and it will play. Just needs time to develop and mature. And I think the Rays will give him that opportunity in their farm system. Curious to see how much that speed helps improve some of these other defensive and other secondary ratings as time goes on.
Good, good. All right. I let Billy know he's up. I assume he knows that. I will put the timer on. But because I'm in Do Not Disturb mode, I will keep an eye on it. Wonder if he fell asleep.
You suggesting a man of his age would nod off? Is no.
Minute 35 left for Billy before, yeah, he probably is basking in the Pats win.
Still some good starters left. Bobby Maloney, Dave Flint-Roy, which I kind of thought would be gone by now.
All right. Sorry, also had to use the time to send profuse apologies to Mrs. Kamish, who came in earlier, wondered if she could get her husband back. There's a running joke with that, though, because when Eris, the cockatiel, is on my shoulder, if she's like tries to get near me, he kind of gets a little aggressive. So she's like, "Can I get my husband back?" And he goes into Chickie Fight Club mode, which is funny.
Is Jim Walker? Nope. There's still some up the middle players left. Jim Walker, Luis Salinas.
10 seconds
Any-
remaining. Cincinnati has their pick in, so assuming the clock will run out. Samurai Dogs have taken Billy out here for at least a pick. I will make the adjustments. So the latest the Red Sox will pick tonight is 162.
Yeah, I see what's being said in the chat. Maloney, yeah, 6.5 mil. Nope.
All right. Well, JR, how well do you remember your 1.0 nostalgia? Because you just brought in a big name from the 1.0 universe. Big Frank. Frank Williams, 6'4", 225-pounder from Mayer, Arizona, playing his ball at Vanderbilt and has a very respectable arsenal to him. Average defender at best, but this is a guy, you put him in the right situation, and Great American Ballpark is a part of it. Yep, he's a San Francisco legend back in the day. 274 hitter, 343 home runs, and almost 1,900 hits over 13 seasons of the 1.0's 20-year era. Big Frank, one of those big names that I was looking forward to seeing coming over. This year, Frank Williams was the big name that I was most excited to see make the pool and see who would get him. I think Cincinnati is the right place for Frank Williams to show what he did in the 1.0 era.
Yeah, no doubt about that. With the power potential, the batting eye, Yeah, this is going to be a really nice pick. Yeah, every chance to succeed in Cincinnati.
Absolutely. Twins are up, and the Twins have made their selection, so the Sox will be deferred again. Just changing that so that it shows. And we'll go to Minnesota's pick. I think another guy that will like another 1.0er selected here. Minnesota will select 21-year-old right-hander, the gambler, Dennis Gamble. He was the junior from Davidson, playing for out of Ramblewood, Pennsylvania. Good mix in the mid-90s with a fastball. He throws the slider, the changeup, and a cut fastball. Control was the big focus on his game, not necessarily swing and miss stuff, but he can keep the ball in play. You put good defenders behind him, that should work to your favor here. Gamble was a better player in 1.0 than these ratings give. He was 175 wins, mid-4 ERA, over 1,600 strikeouts, but look at what the difference is. He played in over 2,700 innings, spread out over 14 seasons, and he had 31 complete games, but he only walked, in 2,700 innings, he only walked 582 batters. So he had very good ability to keep the control there.
Yeah.
Boost
and that
Foster
plays up
Boost
in,
Vash
in
2 players
2.0
in the
as
show.
well. Fastball slider mix.
I know who that is right away. Big E is sending a to-do list of boosting Foster and boosting Vash via Tangiabot. He needed to make sure that he put the checklist together. Big E, thank you very much for the 300 biddies.
That's some skill right there. And yeah, and as Aiden points out in the chat, he's got good defense. So this is going to play up nicely for him. Would give him every chance to succeed. Very interesting profile. I'm curious to see what he does.
Dennis Gamble was a good pitcher for a while. I think if he had retired a couple seasons earlier, if I remember correctly, I don't have it right in front of me right now, but I believe if he had retired at least 2-3 seasons earlier, I think he would have been at least a quarter run better on his ERA, and I do think he would look more like a 2-3 type of pitcher. Again, he never had a lot of swing and miss stuff, but even in the later years when his velocity dipped down, that was the biggest issue for him. So he's a player that I think will see the majors and have a career, but I almost wonder if he'll be more like a Bobby Dowd has done so far in the 2.0 universe. If you pull him up and check him out, that's probably what I think is kind of where I assume is where he would head.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, so the Red Sox are not here, maybe? No, yes, no, nope. Still not seeing a pick from him and still nothing on his list, so until we either get to Billy picking before 162 or we get to 162, we will push him down further. The missions are next. Cody does have a list ready. Then it will be Nashville after, so in all honesty, if the mission select, then I've got to push. Nashville, San Antonio has selected. All right, San Antonio's selection. Is this right? Huh. Maybe this one escaped me. San Antonio selecting outfielder Juan Estrada. Why do I feel like Estrada should have been off this board a while ago?
Because he should have.
Long Beach native, 18 years old, planning to go to California, Dominguez Hills in Carson, California, if he does not sign with San Antonio. Just a lot of potential here. Maybe that's the reason Let's peek. Oh, I can't. That's right. I can't peek as San Antonio where I am right now. But maybe that's the reason. Well, this is a guy who's got a little bit of everything to offer. Maybe he's just going to be extremely picky on who he plays for here.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it too. Really sharp player. Good baseball IQ, tremendous work ethic, great offensive profile. Yeah, kind of odd that he would be there, but the signing is a real thing. So
Yep.
could see where that would be at.
Yeah, even D Block is saying that it would be impossible for him to have signed to Estrada.
wow,
So that
okay.
might be what shied people away. Maybe Estrada
Yep.
just doesn't want to play for anybody unless it's the right situation. Darned if that happens, though. All right, Stars are up. Dodgers are ready to pick when they are ready to submit. And another community credit player, Ty Hollywood, is now signed here with the Stars. The outfielder from Worcester, Mass, played for Boston College this past year. Average defender at best, definitely good line drive profile. Should be able to hit for average as well, too. First Horizon Park is kind of a neutral park from memory serving, so I don't think he'll gain an advantage playing at this particular park, but he also won't be disadvantaged. So, again, as always, all community credit players can have significant upside, and he is another out-of-the-park affiliate. Hollywood Ty is just reverse Ty Hollywood to Hollywood Ty, and that is where you can find him on Twitch. I think Hollywood Ty 24 to be exact.
Yes. Yeah. Nice young player, little ahead of the game in terms of gap power, good speed. The range, I don't know, definitely a corner outfielder. Not too sold on him as a right fielder yet. But to your point, CCP, a lot can change. This is a nice gamble pick for a franchise just starting out. He could be one of their big stars when they start out in the majors.
All right, just the Dodgers have submitted their pick, making the adjustments on sliding Billy down another spot here. Got to do it. Just being fair to everybody. If I do it to my best friend, then I'm showing you I'm being as honest and transparent and doing my job as I can. As silly as that sounds. All right, Dodgers selection is in. They will dip into the 1.0 well and bring in 21-year-old Jack Reardon. 6 foot tall, 180-pound right-hander playing his ball at Pomona Pitzer College in Claremont, California. Hard throwing upper 90s with a fastball. Pretty good slider presumed to have on upside. Same with the curveball, although the curveball is behind the curve there, pun intended. And has a belief of a changeup as well. Reardon probably could tap in a little bit more and touch north of 100, which would be impressive. Again, nothing really jumps out from scouting reports to suggest that he's going to be elite in anything. He'll probably be a little below average in regards to control. I think if he can improve that, that might solidify whether or not this is a mid or back end type of player in the future. He's pretty much a 500 pitcher in his 9 seasons in the majors in 1.0. He did see over 1,000 innings pitched, had almost 900 strikeouts and 402 walks in that time. What's your take on a Jack Reardon here in the 5th round?
Like the velocity profile, like that the ball is heavy. His ability to miss bats probably isn't where I think it should be, considering he does have the fastball. OSA thought he should go like middle of the 3rd round. I kind of feel like this is a good spot for him, but this is somebody who could flourish given the right amount of development. Starter, yeah, I feel like he would be a good starter, whether or not that 4th pitch develops or not, because the other 3 pitches are just so good.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are getting close to being done. We are more than halfway through the 2nd round. Again, halfway through the second half of the 5th round. That's what we meant. The fatigue starting to set in a little bit here. All right, the Cubs pick is in. Red Sox have been pushed down a little further. I keep checking to see if Billy has made a pick. Yes, we will be here all week. Possibly. I just have to be done by Wednesday, or else there'll be chickens and homesteads in my future. All right, Cubs pick is in. Outfielder Chris Miller, 18-year-old switch hitter from Camden, New Jersey. Planning to head to Coastal Carolina if he cannot lock down a deal with the Cubbies. Profiles as an above-average defender, probably a more elite corner defender. All believed to have some offensive talent. Just question will be, can he hit for average? He showed he could do that at the high school level. How will that translate to the majors here, Tim?
And I think that's the thing. Fielding's definitely first. The power is a little ahead of everything else. And I think that's more to do with his frame. I think if he bulks up a little bit, that will play better. A lot of room to grow in the offense. This is the kind of guy that if he went to college, I wouldn't be too disappointed because he might end up coming out as a first-round pick. But if the Cubs can sign him, they can get that kind of value for a fifth-round price. And that's never a bad thing. Definitely feel like he should have gone a while ago.
At least with what he has to offer to the table, and especially with the perception on the defense, that's where I agree with you.
Yes.
That he should have been at least a full round earlier, if not better.
Yeah. OSA had him at 105. I actually had him at 70, which I
you
think
really
is
were
a
high
little
on
bit
him
of a
now.
reach. Yeah. It's a little bit of a reach, but it's just the defensive profile is so good.
Even if we meet halfway between OSA and backfield, as media's projection here, you're saying mid-late third round.
Yes. Yeah. So this is steal.
Those 1.0 GMs. All right, Nationals are in with pick number 158. Again, the Red Sox can be pushed down as many as 4 more picks before their selection could be made, unless Billy appears to make his selection. And it will be 21-year-old Bobby Weiss selected by the Nationals here. Junior at Jacksonville. 8-win season in Jacksonville. He's thrown 110 innings each of these years. Not as many strikeouts this past season. I think that's a little bit of a step back. A lot of that is the belief that he tries to throw too many different pitches, and it kind of throws things off. He has the fastball, the sinking fastball, and the split finger. Also throws the slider, the curveball, and the changeup. Low 90s is his current velocity range. Again, got the ability to get some swings and misses. He has the ability to keep the ball in the park. That'll probably work good at Wrigley Field. Control might be the question mark. Probably is for pretty much any player at this specific point in time. I don't know. I think because he is fairly competent with 6 different pitches, maybe we're talking the same conversation. A guy that should not be here at this point in time.
No, OSA had him going 74, which is what, high third round?
Yeah, and I my apologies. I said Wrigley Field thinking Cubs, but it's the Nationals here in Nationals Park.
Yep, I've been doing it too of late. I don't know why.
Tired.
I'm a little worried about the control. I had him actually at 159, so a spot below this. So he's kind of like right in the range of where I thought he'd land. The stamina is good. If the velocity was a little better, I think that would help the changeup. Because if he's taking miles an hour off of something that's already just 91 to 93, I think a hitter has time to adjust to that and place it where they want. That said, there's room to grow here. So this is a huge prospect player. Could end up being a starter if everything plays right. Should be a valuable pitcher either way, especially in the minors and coming up. So I'll be curious to see how he develops.
Got it. Billy has responded. And as expected, he did fall asleep. so he will stay at 159. Jason sent to pick in. Jason will now hope, don't pick my guy. Ah, dear Lord, that took forever. All right, we're good. That was issue on my end here. Sorry about that. All right, Red Sox will have a pick. It's a little later than they originally would have gone just for this round. Pick number 159 will be Chuck Black, 21-year-old second baseman from San Bruno, California, playing for the Bruins of UCLA this past year. Didn't hit much for average, but 16 homers, 45 RBI. Actually, I like this pick from an offensive standpoint. Again, another one of these guys that, geez, they just don't bring much to the table on the defensive aspect. Everything else about him looks like, hey, this guy could bring something. Just need a little bit more from other areas.
Yeah, and this is the kind of guy who, if his defense does not develop in the minor leagues, could come up and be a bat that comes up late, and then you hope nobody hits it to him when they're in the field later the next half inning. Really nice offensive profile, good speed overall. I wasn't as high on him because of the defensive issues, but this is a nice pick. Anybody in Boston, I think he could take advantage of that park and be pretty successful.
Got it. All right, Brewers pick is in. They're going to go with their own CCP. They'll get the Axeman Axel Fjord from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Just turned 21 years old. Played his ball at Miami down in Florida. 21 homers this year for the Axeman. Good switch hitting outfielder with at least average capability. A good arm, so if he can continue to develop on that, this is going to be a very capable corner outfielder with some power for the Brewers here. I think this is a really good pick at 5, especially when it's your own CCP.
Oh, absolutely. Wondering if that range is going to improve over time and kind of slot him in right field. Either way, he's a corner. That profile needs a little bit of work, but I think that will come also.
All right, we are getting down to the final closing moments of our live portion of the draft. We want to thank everyone again. First time we do the whole 5 rounds in one day. Yeah, 10 and a half hours later. If we make a few mistakes here, you'll give us that. It is for the Pirates. They'll take another first baseman here. This time they will go for Danvers, Mass native Jeff Allard. He'll turn 18 next month. He was at Palmer High School in Palmer, Mass. He's planning to go all the way out to California and play for Cal State Fullerton. He hit .422, a career-high 17 home runs this year. They really said that his weight training and strength training program has really helped his power profile, and he has really stepped it up in regards to his capabilities here. Crazy Coach, thanks for sending your family over. Welcome on into the closing parts of a 10.5-hour live draft here, the 2032 eMLB Amateur Draft, sponsored by APM Music and Moon Brew. I absolutely need some Moon Brew here soon. Well, according to everyone else, I'll be running until Wednesday, which means that I will have to get my wife chickens and a homestead, and I absolutely don't want either of the two. So, so Jeff Allard, I really like that pick here at this point. What's your thoughts on a guy like Allard available at this aspect?
A tremendous power bat, only 17, and I think the offensive profile is way ahead of where most 17-year-olds are in the file. no speed, no defense, and it could be because I'm tired, but I just that profile plays up so high for an offensive bat. I think he figure out what he could do defensively later. This is somebody who has the potential to be an everyday player just because of that. The one thing I do like about his senior year in high school, he doubled his number of doubles. So he started driving more pitches with authority last year, and he wasn't a slouch before then. So he's made a significant stride, and I think it's just going to improve with professional instruction.
About 2.5 minutes remaining for the White Sox to get their pick in. Wondering if Jake also fell asleep here. Now, considering I have 9 pets and you regularly see my my macaws on show here, maybe I need a homestead after all. Who knows? Just feels like a lot of work on time I don't have. There's Jake. Hey, Coach, if you're still there, is Ronnie happen to be in your group? Ronnie games all day? If not, make sure he knows this. Who? The guy who gift subs you like something, like no tomorrow. Marquise Johnson. Community
Nice.
credit player of Ronnie Games. Robbie Games All Day. What did I say? Here's the proper name. Yes. No, it says Ronnie Games All Day, isn't it?
That's what I have.
Yeah, that's where it's Ronnie Games All Day. That's where we found him from you. He came over to us once, dropped a whole bunch. Well, I don't know, but I thought he came from you. I know Robbie in the house also. But anyway, Marquise Johnson, 18-year-old from Los Angeles, California, planning to go to UCLA. Great speed, presence, good defender. All the offense suggest speed, defense first, hitting later. These guys are not negatives, that's for sure, as they have shown in their time with what they can do defensively. Marquise Johnson, a little bit late, might be the last CCP? Yes? No?
Nope, there's one more left.
One more left. Well, we are almost down to the wire with regards to them. It's been a bit since we've had a CCP escape the live portion of the show that I know of. Well, Johnson just getting picked there, Ken. We just showed Marquise Johnson, unless there's another Johnson I forgot about.
Nope. But yeah, Marquise, great secondary skills. The bat is a mystery. Nothing that a few well-placed boosts could not resolve. I like this player. And potential captain capability as well for Marquise.
That's always a plus, too. All right, it is St. Louis that is up. Ten picks remain before we get to call it a night. An extremely long night, but a fun night. So, St. Louis, Anaheim, Seattle, and then Texas. Texas also please let me sleep. Our poor international GMs. See, D-Block's finally done. 4:45 in the morning, and he's like, too finny. He's like, too finny. I think so. I would have to tell you to defer to the list. I can't look at that right this moment. Aju's pick is in. All right, pick is in. And St. Louis will go with 22-year-old right-hander Jorge Cintura. He is a junior who played for Buffalo. Buffalo? Who wants to play for Buffalo? The Sabres don't even want to play for Buffalo. The Bills don't even want to play for... Oh, wait, sorry, I shouldn't say that. There's some Bills fans that might throw stuff at me. Ground ball profile, fastball, sinker, possible changeup will be the question mark. 6'3", right-hander, 200 pounds. He is, I'd say his ability to probably keep the control to be average to slightly above average. That might be a plus for Cintura if everything else can develop. Worst case scenario, you get a respectable reliever who might be able to serve in some various roles.
Yeah, this is another one that I think with the right minor league instruction, and the Cardinals seem to be able to do that. You could get somebody who's at least serviceable and quite possibly slightly better than that. I would love to see that stuff grade max out to 49, at least what my OSA rating is showing. So, yeah, but a nice pitch mix if it develops.
Indeed. All right, I would like to go over to Anaheim's final pick of the evening, and they will go into, this is a old stomping grounds of mine as I worked in the Haverhill-Methuen area once. Methuen, Massachusetts catcher Mike Ashley has been selected here. He's a junior over at Pittsburgh. That's the third Panther that I can think of that has been selected here today. He had a career year with a 920 OPS, 17 home runs, a very good framer, but the arm has been the question mark for Ashley. He does bring some offense with some pop to the plate. So again, I don't think this is a bad selection here. If Pat Pethel will remain the constant for the Anaheim Angels at this point, maybe Mike Ashley is a durable backup for him.
Yeah, and that plays a nice power profile as a backup. I think it can take some value. Left-handed hitter as well, which will also help. Could end up being an average major leaguer. And you can hide that arm as a backup catcher.
That you can. Right. It is Seattle who's up. We're waiting on their selection. After Seattle, it is Texas, the Mets, and then we'll have 5 remaining teams, all with lists. So we'll run through the gambit here pretty quick. Well, I know we're a few more picks away from it being done, but again, I want to give a huge shout out to my teammate here in cohort, Tim Lowry, for spending pretty much his whole day with us. He has spent lots of hours putting this pool together in his own perspective to give you guys some additional thoughts. And I have to think this has been a huge plus for us to have this. Again, we're going to likely finish this show just north of 11 hours completed by the time we're ready to wrap it up officially. Seattle's pick is in. Jamie, once you see Seattle's pick, Hence, if you can put that into Stats Plus, that would be a huge plus for me. Get it?
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be awake tomorrow for most of the day.
Seattle will go with 21-year-old catcher Drake Baldwin, real life player from Madison, Wisconsin. He's played as junior ball at Missouri State this year. Another guy who has a bit of defensive plus, some offensive capability, some ability to hit for pop. Could be another good player that, again, might not be an absolute regular because he doesn't have all of the massive intangibles or the talents, but doesn't also hurt himself with what he can bring to the table, I would say here.
No, love the offensive profile, especially at a very key defensive position, and he doesn't hurt himself defensively either. Uh, the Braves like him in real life, seem to be doing everything they can to get him at bats. So there is a little bit of re-rate lottery going on here as well. But this is a very nice pick. Probably could have been gone 10 picks ago, but it's kind of hard to argue at this point. It was a really nice selection.
All right. Well, I'm curious what you think on this one because I felt like this guy would have also gone a bit earlier. Again, why are guys like the Rangers good? Because they can find, well, they also avoid the Samurai Dog timer, but they can find guys like Ismael Becerra, the 18-year-old Venezuelan Italian. That's an interesting little combination here. He played his ball at St. Francis High School in La Canada, California. And he's planning to go to the East to play for Florida Atlantic this year. Another guy who had a pretty impressive year on the power display as he really improved on the power, improving both the OPS, the slugging, and the OPS. Well, not the OPS plus, but guy who can hit for average, he can hit for pop. He might be a below average defender, but things like that can definitely be worked on if that's all you're looking for from a first baseman here. Tim, was this guy one that's like, why is he still here?
Yeah, a little bit. And I noticed that because there's a difference in one day between my file and yours, and he kind of bumped up a little bit in that day, and he's heading in the right direction. I really like the offensive profile. And that could be me. I thought I downloaded the latest one, but maybe I didn't. The defense, again, 18 years old. He's got time enough to figure that out. I think he plays it first. He's tall enough, he's got the range. I want to see his eye develop. And I think that takes him from having a very good chance to being potentially a starter at some point.
All right. Well, we'll definitely see. I definitely think there's a lot of upside potential for Becerra. And again, on a team like Texas, he doesn't necessarily find it in Texas, but he gets to be a part of a bargaining piece that helps the Rangers stay in their level like they did, a la Cody Koshin coming aboard.
Yeah, 100%.
Mets will select 28-year-old Jim Weinblatt, 18-year-old from Cleveland, Ohio, planning to go to Kentucky to play ball. I don't know why this guy thinks he's a second baseman because he's not. I don't know what he is, but I do know he's got some speed. I do know he's got some ability to hit for power. He's got some ability to get on base, period. The question will be, can he be a high average hitter? Jury's out on that. So there's a couple of deficiencies that probably explain why he is available at this particular point. Again, guys like this, they're project players, but they could be diamonds that provide some value at some point. Yeah, he could probably play first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is the kind of thing, this is a high school player who's head and shoulders above anybody else on the team. So he's going to play in the middle of the infield. That's not going to translate to professional ball just because of the physical limitations. Surprising speed. It makes me think he's had a bit of a growth spurt, just the way this profile looks, and with all the power and everything kind of coming into his own. I would like to see how he has developed. Whoa, everybody just drafted all of a sudden.
Yep.
The Mets, and I think the Mets have a good chance of building him up. So this is a nice project for them.
I will do something a little different because the rest of the list is now complete. So we're just going to quickly skim through some players here. Padres will select Dave Flynn Troy. He is a 22-year-old right-hander from Ole Miss, mid-90s with the fastball, 5-pitch arsenal. Nothing really stands out except control being one of the big pluses that he brings. I'll give you any opportunity you want to say on things, but we'll kind of do a little bit of a lightning round close here in our last 5 selections.
Kind of felt like he would be gone before now, but landing with a really good organization, I don't think that's anything for him to be sad about.
20-year-old Nate Moreland is a relief prospect from Gary, Indiana. Played at Illinois State this year. Fastball slider combination. Control, again, a part of his repertoire. Nothing really grades out as being below average, but nothing also stands out as stellar here. Sidearm slot could always make him for an intriguing case. And again, low mid-90s with his fastball here so far.
When talking to his coaches, we were wondering why he had the nickname Grumbles, wondering if that was a character thing, but apparently it's the hitter is going back to the dugout after not being able to make any contact. Really nice pitcher, sidearm delivery. Good future.
Very cool. A 1.0 player going to Philly and Hal Krieger. Krieger was a 300-plus type of hitter in the 1.0 era, but really didn't translate to much more. Just 539 games in 9 seasons. So for a guy who hit 314, didn't really get a lot of opportunity to show what he could do. So again, the potential or the capability was there. It's a question of, was he just not used properly? Well, he's a junior at McMurray College in Abilene, Texas. Below average fielder. Actually a slightly better than average first baseman from a running profile. He'll definitely hit for average, but again, he's not your prototypical first baseman.
Yeah, tremendous character guy, which really adds something to the contact. It's kind of strange to be talking about a 20-year-old as a potential manager in the future, but it's that kind of baseball presence that he brings. And there's value just in that. And the fact that he can hit and run, yeah, it's a nice pickup.
Very cool. We are down to 2 final picks that we will take a peek at. The next one is from Houston. They will take 22-year-old catcher Tyshawn Mercurius. He's a senior up at the University of Washington, second player from there. Again, not much in regards to being touted as a high-end defensive prospect. It is what he brings offensively that is the allure here for Mercurius. Again, 22 years old and might be able to offer something there. Don't know if I really see him behind the plate at many major league ballparks, though.
No, this feels like somebody who might move to first ultimately, but he can hit, and that will get folks' attention. Also, it seems like catchers in general the last couple of years have shifted away from the Austin Hedges profile where they did everything defensively and were going to bat ninth, and you hope they didn't come up in a good spot, to guys like Mercurius who can hit, and you just hope they learn to catch well enough to make it stick.
All right. Well, who is Mr. Irrelevant of our live portion of the draft? That just doesn't seem like the appropriate name to give a guy who hit as well in the 1.0 universe as this guy did. And the only downside is that he lives by the name Harry Bean.
Rowan Atkinson on line one for you, Commish.
Yes, indeed, indeed. 18-year-old from Henderson, Louisiana. What the heck was that? I don't need that notification. Hit 520 in 42 games here for Livonia. He's planning to go to TCU if he can't sign with the world champs. Absolute focus, laser focused at the plate. This is a guy who's going to try to hit for very high average. And what I mean high average, 15 seasons almost 2,000 hits and a 339 average in the 1.0 universe, but only 84 home runs out of those almost 2,000 hits. That'll help you understand why the power profile is what it is. Now, a guy, again, seems to be a lot of these guys that came from the 1.0 universe that were high average, low power types of guys. Harry Bean is one of those. And I'll tell you, if he makes the 2.0 universe and he is a regular for this team, it would make me wonder, did Michael Sean Kane truly fall off the earth? Or is this going to be giving somebody a DH time more? Right now, my money would say it would likely be Bean acting as a professional DH, because he can hit really good, even if he can't hit for homers.
Yeah, and by all accounts, a very good teammate. Has matured beyond his years in high school. This is a really great hitting profile too. I think he would be given every chance to stick.
Indeed, indeed. All right, so 5 rounds are done. We made it. It took us 11 hours, 2 minutes, but we did it. We're there, and we're happy to say that we did it. So, again, the live portion of the draft will be over. There are still 20 more rounds to do. Those will be done all offline. Depending upon the speed of how those get done will determine when we will advance. Again, our wish would be that the next sim will be on Tuesday. But I think especially after an 11-hour stream, there is an extremely good possibility that I will take Tuesday night off, as we won't be ready to have it done. But we will be definitely shooting for Thursday to be back on the game of the night as we continue the second half of the season. It is imperative I make sure that the GMs know that now that we're done the draft, that we are going to the 7-game schedule on Sunday Sims, as is always intended. And I will be as best as I can to be more diligent and more prepared so that we don't have as slow of an approach to the draft as we did this go around. So part of that was real life. Part of that was my wife and my mom's health. But other parts of that, though, was just letting life get in the way and take over. But let's do quick closings here before we do fully call it a night. Again, it sounds like most of you really enjoyed the coverage that we provided here. I think we found a winner in having Tim be alongside with us. As long as he's willing to do this, we're willing to have him. And I think it just makes for much more fun to hear from 2 different perspectives. And Tim puts an awful lot of work and heart and soul into this. Again, he is our diamond in the rough. We're honored to have him. I can assure you he's going to get a little bit of a bonus from all the kindness that people have sent here today. So, glad you enjoyed. Whether you've been here for the entire thing or you've just been here for part of it, we think it was fun. We don't know if we'll do it again in this format, but it was absolutely a blessing to do. We will figure it out as we go, but it just made a lot of sense to do it this go around, and I'm glad we were able to get the marathon done. Now, whether or not I'm still married tomorrow is another story, but
Enjoy those chickens.
enjoy the chickens. Mrs. Kamish she probably has in the Amazon cart, she probably has all the makings for it. So you told me you'd be done by 8. Yeah, so that cost you a lot. That's probably what we will get. So.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, dear
But
Lord.
this has been a lot of fun, and this is the kind of thing that I realized when I was GMing that I really like doing. So to have this kind of vehicle to be able to expand on that, yeah, anytime you want, let me know. I'll be here.
All right. Well, honor to have you, but you know what? The best sound I'm going to hear for the rest of the night is not going to be a chime. It's going to be our closing music, as it has been an incredibly long day. Oh, goodness, it's too quiet. We're going to start that over. Got to pump that up here a bit more. Special coverage of the 2032 eMLB Amateur Draft was brought to you by APM Music and Moon Brew, our brand new better way, magnesium way to better sleep and better health. Back to our letterbox I am going, finally, because Fluff Kitty Ninjas and wives do assassinate, and you're looking at their victim. So next time I can find some glue and tape, I'll see if I can put my head back on straight. I might not be able to ever find it. She might have buried it and put some, like, exotic plants that can't be ever ruined. My wife has a game plan, I assure you. Time for me to just roll the credits and say, hit the trumpet. Hey, someone set the credits at ludicrous speed. I wonder why. Cannot thank all of you enough for your kindness and your support through the eMLB Amateur Draft today. For Tim Lowry, this is Kamish LB reminding you that how you think, it does direct your life. When you think your best, you're gonna be your best. If somehow, some way you still need some drops, fear not, we're gonna send you over to the Bull League. Thanks for being a part of a wonderful 2032 Amateur Draft. We will see you all soon again, probably Thursday night, because we expect we won't be ready to go on Tuesday. Stay tuned on the Discord for more detail. And for now, we'll see you soon. Peace.
Good job by us.